try to complete this sentence. So for Scott Walker, it was a good debate tonight for Scott Walker
if he makes no mistakes. I mean, I think it's like a big game of dodgeball, and one person usually or two people get taken out during these debates.
It's usually the smallest guy, isn't it? Who can't.
Well, Rick Perry's not a small guy, and he screwed up in the debates last year. Herman Cain had his problems 4 years ago. So, but I think it's sort of a defensive strategy. He doesn't want to make mistakes while at the same time staying on message. The thing is, he does have a tendency to do these indirect attacks, and he referred to himself as a fresh face on in the New Hampshire debate or whatever you want to call it. But and there's this implicit contrast between him and Jeb Bush when he says, "I'm a fresh face." Apparently, he's not. It'll be interesting to see if anybody engages on that. But I think it'll be a success if he's not the lead in the story in the New York Times on Friday.
Craig, so Dan gave us two things: don't be the lead in the New York Times, and don't mess up. So it's a good debate.
Well,
for
that was
Scott
mine.
Walker.
I was going to say it's a success if he's not the headline, because if he is the headline, it's most likely not going to be for good reasons. And just also to kind of add something else Dan said, which is that this style of his of kind of promoting himself, and the flip side of that is kind of an implicit attack on his opponents. It's Dan mentioned the fresh face. It's the anti-Washington thing, which is really aimed also at all the senators and former senators in the race, and the fighters and winners. I'm the only one that's a fighter and a winner, and the implication is that everybody else out there who's won elections doesn't fight for anything, and everybody else out there who's a fighter hasn't won anything. So it's clever because it's hard to respond to, because he's not naming you. If you're out there and you're saying, "Oh, how can you say that about me?" It's hard to rebut because he hasn't even directed it at you, and you have to kind of own the criticism before you can respond to it. It'll be interesting to see in this debate whether any of these people on stage kind of personalize those themes of Scott Walker as an attack for them to rebut.